Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Complete Sports Media's podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell, and we're doing a special nighttime edition tonight as a way to fit in Jason Cameron, who he could join us, and we could break down a few sports that are happening pretty fast and furious these days. So, yeah, we're excited to have Jason into the mix. Thanks a lot for joining us today, Jason.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Nice to see you as always. This is great. Glad we could do this. It's been hard to make it work for a few people lately, work schedules and all that, but I'm glad we can do it. Yeah, so I want to mention our partners and sponsors before we move forward. We've got three good sponsors that I really want to let everybody know about. Anchor's been a really fantastic partner for Complete Sports Media. They've been really great at posting on multiple podcast platforms. They call themselves the easiest podcast platform there is to make and create your podcasts, and we agree. It's been a fantastic partnership. We want you to go to anchor.fm and see what they offer. Listen to podcasts, create a podcast if you want, and yeah, work with them. They've been really fantastic with us. I also want to mention Forever Living. It's the aloe vera company. They grow and manufacture aloe vera based products for health and beauty. We've tried some of the products and we really love them. Jason's also a guy that's tried some of those products and said good things. So thumbs up to Forever Living. And yeah, let's keep them as a really great partner. And also we've got Verbero. It is the hockey equipment and apparel company. They're an industry leader in technology, performance, and value. And they are featuring a fantastic stick right now. It's called the Mercury V350. It's the lightest, most balanced stick on the market. It's very explosive and very durable. And at 350 grams, no other hockey company can touch it for the extent of the hockey stick. So thanks to our partners. Really nice to be able to mention them. And go to completesportsmedia.com. There's lots of details there where you can purchase some of these products and try them out and see which ones you like. So yeah, so now I would really love to break down the UFC with you. It was a very short card. Again, you and I have been talking about some long cards, some short cards. This one ended up having some illnesses and some pullouts and some troubles, but that nine fight card ended up being pretty great. And why don't we just start right away with the Frankie Edgar, Pedro Munhoz main event. Great fight. Amazing to see Frankie Edgar join into a third weight class and get a big victory and continue his legacy into the Hall of Fame. What a performance by Frankie, and yeah, just really neat to see him still relevant at 38 years old.
Yeah, man. The old man still gets it done. You know what I mean? Like he cut weight. He goes into an even lighter weight division, which maybe he should have always been in, to be honest with you. Maybe that's where he always should have been. But dude, I'm going to be honest, man. I watched this fight 2 times. I still don't know who won this damn fight. I'm going to be honest. It was that close. It was that close. It was tit for tat. Edgar had some beautiful combos. Munhoz kept cutting off the cage. Those calf kicks added up to the point that Frankie could barely walk out of the cage after the fight was done. Oh, man, those guys gave it their all. 2 upper echelon fighters that didn't back down from each other, not once in that fight. Fantastic to watch. Edgar did edge it out by the judges' scorecards, but from my judging, draw. I had it as a draw. Like
I know, yeah. It was a razor thin split decision. Absolutely so tight. Yeah, I mean, I would have hated to be a judge there that you know, had to pick a winner, because both of them were just unbelievable. And yes, one of the most razor thin 5-round fights I've seen in a long time. It was incredible.
It was incredible, man. Like they fought their butts off, both of them. And it's a shame that somebody actually has to lose a fight like that. And like I said, I just kept watching it, and then going, I don't know who won this round. You know, like there were so many close rounds in that fight where you're just like, oh, dude, just awesome. Fantastic fights, fantastic to watch. I feel really bad for Munhoz to have lost like that, but I don't think he really dropped that much in the standings anyways. And you know what? Hey, the future looks bright for Frankie Edgar, but, oh, dude, he does not have easier fights going forward.
No.
They all are super, super hard.
Yeah.
That
bantamweight division, you and I have talked about it a ton since this restart. You know, we've been able to really break down a ton of fights. Obviously, the champion, Petr Yan, has looked unbelievable. And now they've got a fight between him and Aljamain Sterling. Sterling has been on an incredible run, and you know, I'm glad he's getting that shot. In between them is Marlon Moraes, ranked at #1. Sterling's #2. Then Cody Garbrandt is number 3 ranked in that bantamweight division, but he's fighting Davison Figueiredo for the flyweight championship. So you know, 2 title fights with guys in these weight class. Then we've got Cody Sandhagen. We've got Munhoz at 5. I'm not sure where he's going to be ranked after this. Jose Aldo at 6, Jimmy Rivera 7, and Rafael Assunção at 8. Yeah, incredible division. And you're right. You know, Frankie Edgar doesn't have any slouches, you know, coming up to face anybody coming in. But yeah, his combos looked phenomenal to me. I just love the way he moves, the way he'll throw 3 or 4 punches to every 1 or 2 from the other guy. He's been doing that his whole entire career. This was the first fight, they said, in his career that he actually had a longer reach than his opponent. He did sort of utilize that quite well. Those calf kicks were definitely damaging him, and I think he ended up going in the hospital after the fight, but he was finally able to start checking them, and you know, was able to get away from that. But yeah, what a really, really tight fight. And yeah, I feel a bit sad for Munhoz because yeah, it's always tough to take a loss, but Frankie Edgar is a legend, and you know, has won in 3 weight classes now. That puts him in rarefied air.
Oh yeah, man, it does put him in rarefied air, and obviously, like, he's a fighting legend right now. That's what he is. He's a fighting legend. He's going to be a Hall of Famer once he's said and done. And I look forward to seeing the noise that he can make in that division, because as you've just named off, all 8 people, those are all just predators, just lurking in the bushes, just looking at you, waiting. They're just like, oh man, I cannot wait to fight you. I can't wait for this. Like, it's just, that whole division is just nuts. It's crazy, and it's cool that Frankie has now injected himself into that.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool. Yeah, I'm really glad. Here's a few guys that have won in 3 weight classes. Listen to the top of the heap here. We've got Anthony Pettis, Conor McGregor, Vitor Belfort, Diego Sanchez, Kenny Florian, Anthony Pettis. Yeah, I mean, just, you know, some of the elite fighters in the UFC, and yeah, it's very tough to be able to compete in 3 different weight classes, but to actually win and you know, win against some of the you know, top competitors. Way to go, Frankie! Glad to see it continuing on, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm glad they put that fight together, and yeah, both of them looked fantastic for that fight. Why don't we switch now? Why don't we talk about the biggest upset in UFC history? According to the odds makers, it was pretty bizarre that that's how it shook out. But that was the fight between Maria Agapova and Shayna Dobson. And Dobson was, I think, minus 15,000 or something crazy. If you would have bet $100 on the 2 biggest upsets in this fight, you would have won $80,000. So I really wish I would have put some money down on that. Yeah, Agapova came in. She had beat Hannah Cyphers pretty heavily last fight in June, and 9-1 coming in. Shayna Dobson was only 3-4, and really didn't have a great record. Wasn't taken very seriously. Put up, I think, as basically a stepping stone for Maria. And once Maria came out, sort of just had her adrenaline dump, and Shayna was able to weather that storm. She was able to take the victory. It was pretty great fight, pretty fun to watch.
Agapova came out like a crazy person. She just was like, ah, I was just like, what's she doing? That's a different approach, and you could tell Dominic Cruz was like, that's not smart. I understand the fact that she's confident. She thought she could just get this fighter out of there. But you have to pay respect where respect's due. If you made it to the UFC, they're pretty good. You know what I mean? You're pretty good. Regardless of what your record is, you're pretty good. And you have to respect that. And hopefully Agapova learns going forward, you can't do that at the highest levels of this game. You just can't fight like that. That's not going to win you anything. And, yeah, man, all Dobson had to do was just like, okay, she's going nuts. I'll just wait it out a little bit. And now she's tired. Now she's done. And then that's exactly what happened. She threw everything at her to the point where she couldn't even freaking move. And then that was it. It was over. It was done. So Great win by Dobson. Great win by Dobson. I lament the fact that I did not put money on the fight. I'll switch that for next time.
Yeah, we might as well put it on some of these underdogs because we've seen some incredible performances by some of these people that not that many people thought were had a chance. And $80,000 richer. I would have helped this week. I would have loved to be able to cash that check. So the co-main event, to me didn't look super exciting. I was pretty surprised that Mike Rodriguez and Marcin Pernacchio were the co-main event. But Rodriguez put on a great performance. The short elbow that he ended up knocking him down with, and then ground and pound to get the referee to stop the fight. Pretty impressive, and Rodriguez, good on him for a really big win.
Yes, man. Like Rodriguez, once he got Anyways, once Rodriguez got the man in the clinch, he just started raiding in knees. And then once he got those short elbows in, especially with the one elbow that knocked him down, and yeah, man, it was a beautiful win on his part. Beautiful win, dominant victory, and look forward to seeing what he can do in the future. Yeah,
me too. Great knees, great elbows, worked really well and tight, and 11-4 light heavyweight. Looking strong there. The lightweight fight between Austin Hubbard and Joe Selecki was pretty interesting. He ended up basically wearing him as a backpack, and Selecki was able to clinch him in a transition to his back, standing rear naked choke. Hubbard ended up having to tap. Pretty impressive show of jiu-jitsu and submission skills by Selecki, and good performance by him all around.
Oh yeah, man. I don't think he got hit like once, like nothing. and he looks super slick. He actually, Hubbard is a tough fighter, and Selecki made it look really easy, like really, really easy to take a guy of that caliber out. So I'm very curious to see who they match him up with next, because it can't always be that easy. Can it? Well, I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah, no, that was an amazing performance. No, it didn't take any damage, like you say, and should be able to get an opportunity really soon. Well, the other fight that we're going to talk about now is the welterweight fight between Daniel Rodriguez and Dwight Grant. The body snatcher Dwight Grant came out and gave Daniel Rodriguez all the trouble that he's ever had. The referee stepped in, or almost stepped in about 3 or 4 times, and finally gave Rodriguez a chance to stand up. and Rodriguez ended up coming out with a knockout win. One of the rounds of the year, in my opinion, one of the most fun fights I've seen in a really long time. What a comeback that was. Holy cow.
Yeah, man. I love the back and forth. I love it when you go, well, the fight's over, man. Okay, what's the next fight? It's like, why is the ref calling this? What does he see that I don't see? I just see another man just getting beaten on and beaten on and beaten on. And then finally Grant got tired. And then that was Rodriguez's chance. And then it was almost like he got beaten on so much that it woke him up.
Yeah.
And then he was angry. And then he hit him hard. And then it was just like, it was the ebb and flow, like just the wild swings within a fight like that is what I love. That's what I love about the sport. I love the fact that you're never really out of a fight. You're never really out of a fight. Not like that anyways. And Rodriguez showed, and he also, I got to give credit where credit's due. The ref did an amazing job on that fight, of reffing that fight, of giving the fighters the chance to come back, you know? And it's refereeing like that is what makes the fights just so awesome to watch. It really does.
Yeah.
So I give the ref all the credit in the world. I give Rodriguez, that's a tough man, all the credit in the world for coming back the way he did.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like every week we're talking about early stoppages. We're talking about quite often about stoppages that aren't called in the right time. We're giving refs grief for, both sides of the thing. But this time, he really gave Daniel every opportunity. It seemed like every time he was just about to step in, Rodriguez was holding his hand up and taking the blows off his arm and off the back of his glove. He was moving. He was doing, intelligently defending himself. And it just seemed like just perfectly at the right time, every opportunity, he was doing the right thing to let the fight continue. And he's on a nine fight winning streak, 13-1. He's going to be a tough out for many guys in that welterweight division. And he obviously a heart of a lion. He took a ton of abuse early on, but withstood it and came back with a phenomenal knockout. I'm really impressed, and I can't wait to see Daniel Rodriguez fight again.
Yeah, man, you hit the nail on the head. He took a ton of punishment, and he still came back and he did what he did. So yeah, he's gonna be a hard out for anybody facing him going forward in that division.
Yeah, you're right. So why don't we talk about the prelims card now? And I'd love to start with the Beverly Hills Ninja. An amazing performance by Jordan Wright. Really incredible spinning heel kick that caused the problems for Ike Villanueva. He had an amazing tie clinch that he was feeding him really great knees and ended up cutting him, forcing the referee's stoppage. And Jason Herzog had to step in after the doctor came in and viewed the cut. It was too serious and they didn't want to progress it further. But Beverly Hills Ninja, love that nickname. Jordan Wright looked great, really great.
Yeah, man. For any sort of spinning technique like that, you have to be very good at distance management. And Jordan Wright had that. He had that in spades, man. And plus on top of that, that spinning kick was fast, my friend. That was quick. And it was impressive just how he followed it up with the clinch with the knees. And you know what? The doctor did his job well because that cut was awful. It was in a bad spot. And you know what? Fighter safety always comes first and it's very prominent. You can't let the fighter go on and continue. That cut was in a very bad spot, and it could have cost him his eye if you let the fight continue. And you can't do that. Yeah,
no, it was. I think it was a proper stoppage, and he can live to fight another day. And Jordan Wright was superior on that night, and it's good that it didn't stop. Obviously, disappointing for Villanueva wanting to go out on a shield, but it was a good stoppage. It was a pretty serious cut. So, why don't we touch base on this welterweight fight between Carlton Minus, Matthew Semelsberger. Both of them had a lot of really good striking throughout this entire fight. Semelsberger, I think, was just a little more crisp, had a little more accuracy with his punches, and maybe a little more damage. Yeah, really entertaining 3-round fight.
Yes, it was very entertaining 3-round fight, but I felt that Semelsberger was always in control of that fight. He was the better striker. He had the more prominent strikes throughout the course of the fight. And yeah, man, fun fight, but Semelsberger, I definitely had winning the fight in all the rounds. Great win by Semelsberger.
Yeah, no, I agree. Unanimous decision, and 7-2. Yeah, still a young fighter in the UFC. Lots of great fights ahead for him, I'm sure. This was an amazing fight to start off the night. Timur Valiev is a Dagestani fighter. Came in highly ranked. The other guy that if you paired him with Shayna Dobson. If you paired Trevin Jones with Shayna Dobson and bet on the two, you would have won $80,000 with a $100 bet. Trevin Jones came in. He got notice of the fight 3 days. I think he said either Wednesday or Thursday. He found out about the fight, made his UFC debut. Didn't look really great in that first round. It looked like Timur was going to take this fight, but he rose up in the second round and had an incredible knockout and got $50,000 for it and changed his life. He's got a UFC contract now, and that was a really great way to kick off this card.
Valiev looked like he was going to steamroll this dude. That's what I'm going to say. Valiev, his striking is on another freaking level. I did not see him throw the same technique twice even. His striking was so ridiculous that I'm like, okay, well, this dude's going to get it in the second round. And then that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. Jones had the perfect counter right hook and put him to sleep and put him down. And that was it. That was all she wrote. And it just goes to show again, it can just take one punch to change any fight, no matter the difference in skill set or styles. It just doesn't matter. One punch can just change the trajectory of a fight in a heartbeat, and that's exactly what happened with Jones. Great win by Jones against a guy that, I'm sorry, normally he would never win against.
Yeah. No, it was a miraculous comeback. Valiev looked phenomenal, like you say, and it looked like he was just going to be able to steamroll him and take him out. Trevin Jones, incredible shot that knocked Valiev down, and then he just jumped on him and made the referee jump in to stop the fight. Maybe an early stoppage, in my opinion, but a lot of times they're erring on the side of caution, and Trevin Jones, changed his life. 13-6 coming in, and we'll see where he goes from here. Huge win, big feather in his cap, and really nice way to start off. Getting 3 days notice and coming in on your UFC debut and being able to win in spectacular fashion, that's life-changing and really cool to see. He got the $50K, like I mentioned. Shayna Dobson, Edgar and Munhoz got the other $50K, but in the post-fight press conference, Dana White said he's actually going to be handing out a lot of bonus checks to a lot of people on the card. And I was really impressed and thought, oh, way to go, Dana. That's super cool. He was impressed by a ton of the fighters, not just those 4 guys. He thinks that, 3 guys and the girl. He thinks that he's going to hand out probably a bunch more bonus checks. Pretty cool.
No, that's awesome, man. Like, because, at this time, in the situation that we're all in with whatever business that you're running, you're not making the money that you normally would. And that goes for the UFC as well. And for Dana to say, doesn't matter. These people earn their cash and they're going to get paid. I give them all the credit in the world. I really do. Like, there's certain things I will bang on him for, but I got to give him credit where he does earn it, and he's earned it here for sure. He's treating his fighters well, man.
Yeah, no, I love it. Great to see, and I'm glad it's not just cut and dry. 4 people, that's it. If others put on an amazing performance, be able to step up and hand them checks too. That's great. Life-changing. Pandemic, has really depleted, the resources for most people on the planet, and yeah, they're coming in there, putting their lives on the line, and Dana White showing his appreciation. It's really great for the commissioner to do that. So the other thing that came out in that post-fight press conference was Oscar De La Hoya is making a comeback. And did you hear Dana White's comment there about that?
Cocaine is expensive. that was his comment. I was just like, what kind of cocaine is he doing? It's great. Okay, dude. I understand you're wanting to fight, but come on. Like, even with Tyson and now De La, what are you guys doing, man? Dude, like, once you're out of the fight game, you're out of the fight game. And there's no you trying to go back to relive old glory unless your name is George Foreman. And you're not that.
No.
Sorry, boys.
No.
You're not that dude.
Yeah.
So it's just, man, I don't, sure. I don't know who's going to watch it because I'm not going to do it, man.
No.
You're past it now. You're past it. Just run your businesses, enjoy your life. Don't take any more damage, man. Like, why would you do that? Why would you want to put your body through that, your brain through that? You already survived decades of fighting. Enough's enough. You got to know when to, say, I'm good, I'm done, I'm moving on with my life.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, well said. I agree. Yeah, hey, it's time. You've had your time in the limelight and spotlight, and yeah, fighters don't age well typically, and yeah, you've got millions of dollars, you've got a family, friends. Live your life, enjoy, and let them enjoy you being around for a long time with a sound mind and body, and yeah, leave the fighting to younger guys. He hasn't been in the game way too long, and he shouldn't be coming back. It's a big mistake. So there was a couple of also announcements about upcoming fights. Tony Ferguson and Dustin Poirier. Basically, he kind of said, yeah, that's what's going to happen. So, man, that should be one of the most exciting fights we'll see all year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Yes. Totally jacked and excited for that fight. That's going to be an all-out war because those guys they don't know any other way than to bring it. Yeah. And that's exactly what's going to happen. I cannot wait to see that fight. Yeah. I'm already excited for it right now.
Me too. And then Amanda Nunes had hinted at some retirement and talking about stepping away for a long time, but they've put her up against Megan Anderson. Amanda obviously being the greatest of all time female fighter. Does Megan have a chance?
No. Yep. I'm sorry, man. Dude, I'm going to say it again like I said it before. The only person that can actually challenge Nunes, I believe at this point in time is Shevchenko. And that's it. That's the only woman. Sure, Megan Anderson's going to take her shot, and she's not going to succeed. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't see it. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, it's great to see some of the fights coming up. I'm really happy that Amanda's not stepping away and retiring. That was definitely a concern and a worry. We didn't want want to lose the greatest of all time and see her step away because she's still legitimately the best by far and miles ahead of all the competition. Yeah, it's great that the UFC was able to put a contract in front of her that she signed, and that's going to be exciting. Yeah, that was a fun card, even though nine fight card. It still turned out to be a really great night on Saturday and a lot of amazing performances. Great breakdown as usual. I really appreciate you coming in and joining me. I know you're busy working and yeah, you don't have a ton of free time anymore. So thanks a lot. It was fun to talk about the UFC tonight. Yeah, it's always a pleasure, and I can't wait to text with you through the week, and let's do this again next week.
You got it, buddy. For sure.
Okay. All the best. Take care of yourself.
Take care.
Okay. Have a nice week. Yeah, great breakdown of the UFC tonight. Yeah, a great card. It was a little tough with a lot of the injuries and pullouts and different things that have happened. But you know, look at the difference you know, that people have made in their lives. And you know, some of these amazing performances that we see from veterans like Frankie Edgar. A lot of fun. So thanks so much for joining us tonight. I always appreciate your time, and yeah, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and love you lots. Thanks again to our supporters, sponsors, partners. Yeah, go to the website, www.completesportsmedia.com, and support our sponsors that are supporting us. Love you lots. Take care of yourself. Have a great week ahead. We'll talk soon. Bye for now.